welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Sure did. Still in Italy.
They just got to Italy, though. It's not like they've been spending 4 episodes in Italy.
Right. It's not like the Hamptons.
Yeah, no. Well, welcome back. Having one Housewives episode a week just seems like we're on vacation.
It's weird because we're like, oh, yeah, we're going to do a show.
I forgot. I entirely forgot. I didn't shave today. Like, normally I would shave before a show, and I was like, well, I got nothing to do tonight. And then later on when we got home, you're like, is it hot up there? And I was like, no, it's fine, whatever. I didn't even know why you were asking. None of it. I mean, I've missed doing it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like more content. But then, it's going to be Atlanta and Rory.
Yep.
Rhode Island, like before you know it.
Yeah.
So.
And we're not going to, although we are going to watch Ladies of London, we don't need to podcast about it. So.
I it's only going to be 6 episodes, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I was wondering how it works out with timing because it's on right now on Thursdays, and that's where Rory's supposed to come in, and then they move it around and do all that stuff.
Right. So for like one night,
yeah,
and then it's gone to Sundays.
I was curious, but either way, I've missed doing this. I hope if you're a regular listener, you missed us because we missed doing this for sure, and we missed you. If you're just new and you're finding us, thanks for finding us. We are 2 husbands, each other's husbands, and we watch The Housewives and we talk about it. And when we have a lot of Housewives going on, I feel like I tend to get a little jaded and like, yeah, show good.
So good.
But I feel a little refreshed about this. Yeah. This is a good episode. I'm glad we watched it.
Yeah, I thought it was really good too.
I feel compelled, although it never goes well to do this, but like I feel like we had some flack off of some of our social media about like our like kind of Dorit's being really, really argumentative sort of, which I was never trying to say that like Dorit's being a hysterical woman. That's never the angle I would take or truly think. And a lot of people are excusing a lot of things because she's going through a divorce or this or that. And they're asking, well, you've never been divorced. You don't know how it feels. It's like,
well, we've been the children of divorce, so we know how that feels.
Right. That's part of it. But also it's like, don't discount my experience.
Yeah.
Like, don't be, Sutton to Amanda Francis or, Dorit to Amanda. I'm not trying to make that argument. But I'm just saying, like, I would never in a million years dream of like saying Dorit doesn't have the right to be angry or doesn't have reason to be angry. I just feel like she's taking her anger out a lot in the wrong places.
It's just kind of annoying. That's my thing. That's my take. I stand by whatever I said last time. I will double down on it, stand 10 toes down. I don't care.
No, I don't. Again, I don't
say that's the wrong take. Whatever. Keep scrolling.
Right. That's true. Again, I don't think that we had a bad take.
No.
I don't want anyone to misinterpret that, like, what we're saying. We're not saying Dorit's being annoying because she's going through a divorce. She's just being annoying.
I think, and we really try hard to not come off like 2 assholes, 2 men watching a show about women that has a primarily female audience. We're not trying to like, mansplain or talk down. Like we're very, very, we care to not come off that way.
Right.
So I don't know why people are picking that up. It wasn't, I'm pissed at her. She doesn't have the right to be, feel this way. I'm just saying, for me personally, I was thinking just for me, not for you, she's annoying. And I was annoyed by Dorit, and like coming to this podcast, coming to our page on TikTok, I am a huge Kyle supporter, not blindly, but like I will typically side with Kyle. So if Dorit's being annoying or being like whatever towards Kyle, I'm probably gonna have an issue with it. So I just stand by that. I am consistent like that, and that's what it is. I will call out certain things Kyle does that are bad, and I've done it this season, and I'll call out things that Dorit's done badly in my eyes. But probably it's going to lean more towards Dorit doing things I don't like.
I think my issue with the whole thing ends up being that a lot of people, and not just in our comments, I think all over the internet, are just giving Dorit a pass because she's going through a divorce. And no, we've never been through a divorce, but we are children of divorce. But like, that excuses you a lot, I think, amongst friends or like, a little bit of a mea culpa. But like when you're just being generally unfriendly and unbearable to people and just not giving them a chance, like if you're not talking about it with them, you're refusing to engage, like then that's not an excuse to be a certain way. It may be a reason, but it's not an excuse. It doesn't forgive your behavior just because you're going through something rough in life.
Also, this is a normal person going through a divorce. It's a Real Housewives. It's a Real Housewives show. So it's edited in a way that's, it's not the norm. So anyways,
it's neither here nor there. Yeah, no, we should get past that.
Yeah. It's just reading those comments, on the TikTok last week, I was like, whatever.
Well, it's one of the things where we do very much try our best to not, mansplain and try to make it, be sensitive to the fact that we are two men, although gay men, and I will say that gay men are probably a demographic that's very highly sought after on Bravo. We're part of the demographic too, but I'm just saying, like, we try not to, speak down to anyone, especially women, and that's the sort of thing. That's what I'm trying to say. And we may not succeed every time. We may go over the line, but, the thing is, it's not our goal, and if,
It's funny, like, this is a whole nother conversation. You think we would be the target audience, but really we're not. Looking at BravoCon, looking at how gays are treated on this network, it's not always the best.
That's true.
And so yeah.
So we're still the sideshow.
We're still the odd man out sometimes.
Yeah, no, I can see.
We definitely made strides, and there's been a lot of, I think it was Southern Hospitality won the GLAAD Award for best reality show because they have gay characters or gay characters.
But yeah,
and so yes, there's definitely it's handled well in a lot of cases, but oftentimes not so well.
Right,
so I don't know.
Was that WeHo show? Was that a Bravo show, or was that?
No, that was like Logo.
Okay, all right. I was gonna say, is it Bravo just pissed off that the WeHo show didn't work for them?
No, it's so funny. It's like, I think it's interesting with Ladies of London having a guy on there, a gay guy.
Right.
I think that's Bravo hasn't gone there before. People always say, oh, there should be like a gay housewife or a gay housewife show, and they never do it. I think because that's not what women watching this are looking for. So to have that's cool that they have that guy.
Yeah. Well, it's yet to be seen though whether he's a main attraction or whether he's just a sidekick.
Well, he's the narrator though.
That's true.
So
that's why I've already ruined my goal to always call it Ladies of London and Mark. But oh well.
Ladies and Lord, singular of London.
We will not go into that too long, but I will say that I enjoyed the first 2 episodes. We will watch the rest. If you're not, give it a try.
I was reluctant. Like when we first sat down, I was like, I'm not into this, but I liked it by the end. It was just so ridiculous with that dinner party. But at the end of the second episode, it got me.
It took to the end to that dinner party for me to really go, all right. Because when when Dara was saying like, we're all self-made people, and like half the people at the table are like, oh, I inherited my money. What the hell are you talking about?
They're all just like, what? Did you not read the memo?
For Bravo, for just the people on that show to be so forthright, and like for Bravo to really take that angle of like, no, what is she crazy? What the hell? I really enjoyed that. It was refreshing. So, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Beverly Hills. And it was a good episode, I would say.
Yes.
Where did we start off? Do you remember?
With everyone else arriving to Florence.
Right.
Being amazed by that amazing villa.
Yes, which I did notice in the credits. They are getting promotional consideration from the villa.
Of course.
So
I'm sure people are like booking that villa who can.
Right.
Like crazy.
Right.
There's a certain clientele for that villa.
It definitely looked amazing. Oh, yeah, and they gave the room assignments to everyone else. So they did they give Dorit? No, they gave Rachel the big primary suite, the big, giant.
I feel like they all had dual vanities in there.
But not all of them had like a plaque outside their room that said what room it was, because that's when Tilly got the chapel outside her little balcony.
That was great. That was really pretty. It's just a very pretty, like picturesque. It's quintessential Italy.
For sure.
What you would think you would when you think of Italy. Yes.
For sure. If you don't start taking us through the timeline here, I'm going to start going random, because I'm just be like, Tilly got there and wanted to be naked. That was basically her main thing.
She wanted a thirst trap. Yeah.
She wants a thirst trap.
I think Kathy doesn't know what a thirst trap is.
I think you're right.
Honestly.
I kind of like that Tilly shared that with us. Like, every time I go somewhere, I just kind of want to get naked in the water and do a thirst trap.
I want to be submerged, because I have
jiggly bits.
Jiggly bits. That was great.
Yes.
Tilly's amazing.
And
that hat she wore, at first I was like, that's a lot for just sitting around the house. But then it's so Italian.
They're all just sitting around the house.
glam just for sitting around the house.
I'm telling you, we need to have a party sometime. I don't know what that...
It was...
Bose has a lot of good fashion, but a lot of questionable fashion.
Yeah, I think without the coat, I would have been down with it.
Yeah, I mean, the coat is a going out thing, I feel. Yeah. I feel like if you're just going to be sitting around, you can go coatless.
Dorit was late again. Second verse, same as the first.
Yes, but Erica went up and got her.
I love when Erica said, no, really, man.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing Housewives thing. No, really.
Just come downstairs.
Yeah, this isn't a bit. I want you to come downstairs. Bose is a surprise.
And also, Erica's just like, I just want to get on with the night. Like, I don't want to be sitting down here all night. Let's just get on with it. You know?
Well, that's why when it came to dinner, Erica was saying, okay, let's, what are we doing?
When they are going downstairs and Dorit's like, did you take my rings? And then she has to go, no, I'm not saying like, did you take my rings? But like, did you take them for me? Like, do you have them in your hand?
Oh.
And I just like that, like, because Erica was definitely noticeably irritated. Just like,
girl.
Yeah. And then she's like, no, I'm not trying to say anything by it. So
I ain't no klepto.
Yeah.
Good. No, the only ring I have is the one that I put. Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. I have.
That was the earrings, not the ring. Sorry.
You're right. I get all this out of order because I'm already thinking about the next day when Tilly's coming down and gets stuck in the elevator because we've seen it 200 times in the trailer.
But, no, basically it was everyone looks amazing. They're all dolled up, super high heels. They go see the opera. It's dull. I'm there with Sutton. I would fall asleep too. I've never been to the opera. Never had the desire to go to the opera. Unlike Timothée Chalamet, though,
You're fine with
arts
the
are
opera.
amazing.
Yeah, yes.
It's not for me, but I'm not going to bag on it like some douchebag.
I went to the opera once, and we had seats at the very, very, very high up in the theater in San Francisco. And I have been in lots of large theaters in my life, and I've been in the nosebleed section, but I was having a vertigo. I was that far.
Oh, yeah.
And also, when you get up there, the seats are kind of raked so that they point down. So even when you're sitting in them, you're leaning forward. I had to hold on to the person I was with so that I did not fall out of my seat. And like, I really wanted to pass out. And because of that, I was very sleepy at the opera. But
you weren't at the front row, though.
No, we were in the very, very upper back end of the balcony.
I couldn't imagine like being in the balcony like that in the front row.
Oh, no. Well, see, by there, I think they don't tilt you forward so much. But yeah.
Still, I don't want to be where I could topple over.
Because of that experience, I've never really been excited about going back to the opera. It would be like getting food poisoning at a nice restaurant. You're like, I'm not going to really go back there because didn't have a good experience.
That makes
But
sense.
also, the company I was with was not one of my favorite people in the long run. So maybe I should try it with someone I love, like you.
I don't want to go. Oh. But I support the arts.
But you'd go to the ballet.
No.
Really?
No.
You wouldn't like go see Nutcracker or something during Christmas?
No desire. I know it's quintessential Christmas. Nope.
Do you say quintessential Christmas? Or quintessential Christmas?
I'm a little tired. So if I come out slurry, I'm not drunk. I'm just tired.
And suddenly Southern. However, I was so worried that Erica was going to keep talking during the opera. And have
flashbacks to
Diana's husband singing.
Yes.
I was just so worried. I was like, Erica, please do not. I just think
I can do that. No, you cannot.
Anyone talking during a live performance, just no.
That's
anyone talking during a movie, right?
Yes.
Like, I don't know. I suppose I've been to a couple like recitals or like concerts at someone's house before, and there's a little bit of chitter chatter, but you always hush it. Like, you don't just announce out loud, I could do that. Like, that just doesn't sound right.
Honey, let me tell you, I don't like concerts where people are talking, let alone a little intimate gathering like that. So no,
it's just rude. And then for Amanda to be on her phone, even more rude. Like,
what are you doing? You are front row. There are 10 of you. Okay, they're gonna see you. He's right there. He could reach out and touch you.
It does make you wonder, like, how much of a production they're really in. Of like, all right, now we're gonna bring on, like, before they get on there, now we're gonna bring out the opera people. They're gonna get up there and sing. You guys sit there and pretend you like it. And she's like, sure, I like it. But it's still so rude. Yeah, not a good look.
No.
But
it's all
Tilly gets weepy.
Yes, because her mother was an opera singer. Didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. That was very interesting.
Yeah. I was gonna excuse me. We get to the dinner. Finally, the dinner that lasted 4 segments, I think. 4 hacks. Well, before the dinner, Amanda's desperate to talk to Dorit.
I wouldn't say she's desperate, but she's like, hey,
she wants
can
to
we
get it
talk?
over with. I would be the same way. I would want to not have my dinner ruined by feeling anxious that I had to have this conversation with this woman. I'd want to get it done with so I can enjoy my salad.
Your light's still on?
It's still on.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So the fact that Dorit was like, Amanda, I would just, she was so not, she didn't, even when they sat down at dinner, she didn't want to have anything to do with Amanda. She was over Amanda, has written her off.
And that's where I agree with Sutton and Kyle the next day, where it's like, you need to speak up. Like, you need to, like, it was just so rude. It just like, hey, can we have a talk? Like, I want to enjoy dinner. And it's like, okay, so you're saying that by having the conversation with me beforehand, you won't enjoy dinner?
She wanted to have that conversation from the entire group so they could back her up, which is exactly what happened. Now, she wasn't wrong in certain instances. When Amanda said this is an informed opinion because I, therapist, la, 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 la. And everyone jumped in, including Natalie. Thank God Natalie spoke. Natalie spoke. Also,
that's the reason they flew her to Italy was so she could say that.
We've seen the preview. Natalie's going to speak again. Natalie is there, people. Natalie has awoken.
Don't count Natalie out.
She's good. She has arisen, okay? So
you really are just anti-Natalie.
I'm not anti-Natalie. I just think that it wasn't the same outfit, by the way.
It looked similar, though.
It looked similar, though.
Ill-fitting is what I meant.
And too much like her skin tone. I want to dress. No.
Also, because those little flowers on her boobs just looked like really weird boobs.
The caplet, I didn't understand.
The sleeves and everything?
She's prettier than that dress.
Yeah. But the flowers on her boobs looked like someone just twisted her breasts and got them all screwy. It just didn't look nice.
I wouldn't say, I wasn't noticing all that. I was thrown off by the caplets. Or the whatever they're called,
sleeves,
yes. The capulets. I agree with Natalie when she said, "Dorit isn't your client. You're not here to give your advice as a therapist, whatever.
Just put her in a friend box and move on."
Right. Yes. So So Amanda, sorry.
You're fine. You're good. I told you it's warmer up here than you thought it was.
And I'm just like, it knocks me out.
Yeah, I know. You want to take a little nap. You're jet lagged.
No. So that wasn't a good way of putting it. She should have just said point blank, I had the opinion. I didn't think you should be talking about PK, but it was wrong of me to say that. I don't know you very well. And just let Dorit have the win. Let's move on. Dorit just wanted the win and she wanted everyone to back her up. And everyone did back her up, except for Kyle. And then she's mad at Kyle.
Oh, yeah. So I do passive-aggressively mad at Kyle.
So.
I do think that I liked that Amanda said that, like, no, I wasn't just co-opting and agreeing with what Kyle said. That was my opinion. Like she said that. She didn't.
Dorit dismissed that too. That was
dismissed it, and she should have gone back to it. I think had she said, I wasn't just hopping on the Kyle wagon. No, I think that, and what's wrong with me thinking that?
And she proved that point too when she said, this is my informed opinion,
right?
For my, based on my history, whatever. I don't think that was a good idea. Just stick with that. But you know what? Ultimately, I don't know you that well. I should have said it. That would have killed it.
Right.
She was going off on the points that she didn't need to go off on. It's I have a therapy background. No. Dorit's not your client. And also, as someone said, Dorit wasn't bad-mouthing her PK to her kids.
Right.
So,
but the argument will always be made, your kids will see this someday, which I'm surprised someone didn't say. If it had been New Jersey, they would have said that 100 times. Your kids will see this.
Well, no, also the point of, it's more so that this is going to give out the PK and it's going to use it against you.
Right.
That is the point I think Amanda was trying to make, or Kyle was making.
Someone was making. I just know that Kathy coming out and saying what she said about basically, like, when you're new to the group, you should, read the room and know your place.
And here's when I shift over away from, like, disagreeing with Amanda. Kathy Hilton, know your place, friend of. Okay. I'm sorry, I don't care if you are Kathy Hilton. As Erica said, like, oh, Kathy said something. I don't care. My place is wherever my place wants to be.
Right.
My place is a full-time contract holding cast member. You are a friend of contract. Okay, so know your place and don't tell me, like, know my place. I would have been so annoyed by that.
Right.
And Amanda's like, let it go. No.
And I think that's part of the power of Kathy Hilton, is that, even though she is who she is, she's still who she is.
That's why you need, like, a Renna to say, whatever.
But that's also why I think the next morning when Sutton and Kyle, as you said, are totally gassing up Amanda, like, Amanda does need to be more stand up for herself more,
Yes.
especially in this group. Now, I agree with what Amanda says, is like, just because like everyone else in this group operates under the guise, if you're not being insane, you're not reacting, you're not,
Right.
you know, I agree with her, but it's giving too much. It's giving too rational in a sense of like
For
in real
Housewives.
life, you wouldn't do that, but it's also bordering too much on Meredith Marks of like, I'm not going to engage with this. And it's like, you can't just keep running away or shutting down or.
It's not that she doesn't want to engage, it's that she wants to think about it too much. That's the thing. You're supposed to, as a housewife, as I said last week, as Lisa Rinna said, as she was told, you're supposed to think out loud.
Right.
So Amanda needs to come to these conclusions out loud in the moment, not think about it off camera and then try to bring it up, you know, to Dorit. That's too much of like an Angel situation.
Right.
The moment has passed. In the moment now, you just say, Dorit, don't talk to me that way. Kathy, don't talk to me that way. I'm not your child. I don't need to know my place.
Right.
That's what she should have said. Instead, she's like,
Or even,
that's where she failed.
Or even, this isn't the 19th century and we're not in the caste system. Like, I don't
Right.
need to sit here and be like, oh, I'm new to this group and, you know, oh, and I'm not worthy of you know, having an opinion. Like, that's what gets me.
Right. But they all, Rachel, Natalie, Kathy, they all were backing her up, Dorit, and that's what she wanted. That's why she wanted this to happen with the
Right,
group and not,
right.
you know, she wanted the backup. So that was that. But I like that, you know, Amanda then segued to the cult. And this is again where she should have spoken up and said, you tried to use that against me. You were mad at me for talking about you and PK behind your back. So you did some Googling. As Giselle said, I did some Googling. And you
I
found
almost
this
spit
cult.
beer all over this microphone, so please time that better. No.
And you came up with this cult thing to throw at me, to use against me, and it was petty.
To suggest
Admit that.
to suggest that I am weak or somehow not, you know, of a character, you know, of my own.
Not even weak, just suggest.
But there's a character flaw.
Yeah,
that
character
somehow
flaw. Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a
yeah.
flaw in Amanda because she was lured into
It was
a cult.
dirt. She's looking for dirt. Her assistant found something, gave it to Dorit. Dorit doesn't know how to Google.
Anyone knows
Sorry,
how to Google. Come on now.
Dorit's not going to take the time to Google, I should say. I'm sorry.
Wasn't it Kathy though? I would Google. I would totally Google stuff.
Oh, Kathy
I would do a deep
yeah.
dive.
Kathy's got the time.
But you know, Kathy's the one who's holding her phone out in front of her and doing the like AMANDA space.
Francis.
Yes.
Like the CIS? Yeah.
Yes.
So if I was Amanda, I would have said you were being petty.
Right.
So you need to admit that. I'll admit that I shouldn't have spoken out of turn. You admit that you're being petty and coming at me that way.
But I
Dorit
think
will never admit that. But I like that it then got to Amanda really just saying what they wanted her to say of, let me tell you all about the cult. And she gave the whole story, and regardless of whether it happened or not that exact way, it seemed a little too easy and a little too, as Erica was saying, when you hear cult, you expect the worst. You know, like that's why Dorit was asking, was there any abuse? Because you expect you were treated horribly.
Right.
But it was more psychological, emotional, you know, and you can't leave the place unless you're working to support the cult.
Dorit was kind of giving it that SNL
Side-eye.
the SNL like, yes, was there abuse? Was there?
She really was looking for something.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, tell me, yes." You know, she expected there to be something really, really wrong. And were you beaten? You know, and it was not.
She was looking for the salacious details.
And yeah, it didn't
And they weren't
exist.
I did also like when Amanda said, but you know what, Dorit, this is great because you've given me an idea. Now I'm going to write a book about this.
It was meant to be.
I love Bo's guffawing. So like,
Yeah.
was hilarious.
But then didn't Amanda say like, you know, no, I know how to write a book.
No. When Dorit said, no, because I love this line so much. When Dorit said, you know, when I said like, oh, I don't have like basically the bandwidth. Like she's tired. I don't want to like get into this whole thing. And Dorit said, oh, you're going to have to if you're going to write a book about it. Well, it's been proven I can write a book.
Yeah.
I've proven that. Unlike you, Miss Ghostwriter. That was so good. Bless her, Ghostwriter. See, that's a shade you should have brought in. You should have. It's been brought in.
Bring it on, Jeff. Bring it on.
It's been brought in.
It's already been brought in.
That's what you should have come with that energy.
I mean, if she comes back for a second season, which I hope she does.
Yeah.
I hope she will like be a little bit more like reflective on her first season, be like, I should have stood up for myself more, and I should have, or maybe Amanda will just continue to be like, that's who I am, and that's how I'm going to come at
It could be a couple of things, I don't want to appear on the show because people are going to dig up stuff about me and about being a scammer and a fraud or whatever.
Yeah.
And also, this is me acting out of character, and if my character isn't what people want or the producers want for this show,
correct,
then why am I going to do this show? Because I'm the money queen. I don't need this money. It's a tiny check.
I like how she's the next morning on was she recording like social media for her followers or whatever?
Yeah.
Just be like, I don't know if I'm going to call it spiritual AF. And I was just like, or my God book. I was like, I don't know that you need to, I guess if it's about her religious cult that she was in and what got her there, but I'm like, none of this sounds very spiritual or religious to me.
No.
Can we go back to Dorit being passive aggressive about Kyle?
Oh my gosh, thank you. I forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah, because that is what I'm surprised. I'm like, they showed Kyle rolling her eyes. I think they showed even Erica rolling her eyes. Like, okay, who are you talking about? But like, again, this is the sort of thing that pisses me off about Dorit and how she's behaving. Is like, it's just so childish. Like, she's not addressing what's going on with people, and she's just expecting everyone to just kind of, oh, are you hurt? Oh, I'm so sorry. And it's just like, just say what you mean.
She's full of shit. I'm just going to break it down.
You just said what you meant.
She is full of shit.
Okay.
And she's being very passive aggressive. Just say, Kyle, Bo's told me what you said about me.
Right.
And I think that's shitty.
So do we think that comes up next week then?
Oh, for sure. I think that's what they fight about. And then it also goes further with the Kyle, Erica, Dorit stuff. Yeah, the whole, she had dinner with PK, but she didn't tell everybody because she doesn't trust certain people in the group. Just say it's Kyle.
Right.
And then when she got snippy with Kyle, when Kyle tried to mend fences with Dorit and Amanda, Kyle, you're not a therapist. But
I don't need anything. I don't need anything.
Like, if I was Kyle, I'd be like, I just want Kyle just to write her off, honestly, and be like, see you at the reunion then.
Yeah. Be like, fine then.
Yeah. Maybe we'll resolve it. Maybe we won't. Maybe,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. Maybe this was not meant to be.
Exactly.
Friends for a reason, for a season, or for
a reason.
Yeah. So
those seasons were 7, 8, 9.
maybe part of 10. Oh, goodness. What else did we have going on? Bose didn't really have any of her own story. Sutton kind of got in there a little bit.
Oh, with the Amanda stuff of, I want to welcome her into the group.
Right.
And that was fine.
I like that people were just questioning her and being like, you're up to something.
Why is everyone so bothered by Sutton wanting to room with Amanda? You don't have to sleep in a twin bed. What's the tea?
Yeah, well, you care. Yeah. Erica said a couple things that I thought were interesting, but I can't remember them right now.
I think you see a little bit of Erica being over Dorit.
Yeah.
And when she said, I was a little offended that you didn't tell me, and Dorit,
I think that's Dorit's definitely saying, I know you talked to Kyle. I know that you and Kyle are thick.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I would definitely stand up and notice that and just think, okay, then. But again, big loss.
I know. I think, it's not going to devastate Erica.
No. There was more before we get to Rachel. There was something else, but I can't remember.
With Erica?
Yeah. Something funny, I'm sure that happened.
Brought up her and her new boyfriend.
Yeah, never really interests me.
She made fun of Dorit for collapsing to the ground about seeing the sauna. Dorit coming in hot, being all like, it's been forever since I spoke Italian. You mean 2 years ago? Wherever you went? Like, it seems like she's speaking Italian every chance she gets. Season 10 when they went to Rome, and we get it. You speak Italian.
I mean,
water's wet.
Like, I know that if I went somewhere, like, I was excited when I was in France that, like, I don't speak French, but, like, I can get by a little bit and I can understand kind of the words. Like, that's enough. But I don't know that I would just, I get the excitement, I guess, what I'm saying. But I think she needs to know that she comes off so freaking, what's the word? Pretentious. Because it's every time she has an opportunity to speak a foreign language, she does.
It's the thing about Dorit. She's so affected, and she just knows doesn't know how to not be. Even when that real raw moment last year when she was smoking a cigarette and driving down the street felt affected. I just don't believe most things with her except for her undying love for her kids. Anything else is just, I don't buy it, you know?
Maybe then that means that's just who she is. Maybe
I guess so.
Maybe she's one of those people you meet and you're like, wow, that's a phony person.
Right.
And then that's who they are.
I mean, we do see glimpses, especially last year, of like the real Dorit and after the breakup. But then part of me just wonders, well, that was really convenient for her. This has been really great for her with PK and going against Kyle. And, you know, right. I just there's something just unnatural about her that makes me not gravitate towards her.
I agree.
And I do enjoy her in certain moments and like, you know, laugh along with her, not necessarily at her. But then most of the time it's not just about Kyle. I know I said that thing in the beginning of I'm going to take Kyle's side. It's not just about Kyle. It's just that Dorit is so Dorit. And I do appreciate it from a sense of, you know, being on Housewives, but just not one of my favorite characters.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, like, I guess the whole idea of growth, like you see ladies change over the years and kind of do different things. She's doing the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah. And which, I guess, again, that's who she is. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that, like, someone would meet me and like be like, oh, he's amazing. I probably do the same thing year after year after year. But I'm not on TV.
Right. But I feel with Kyle and Erica and Sutton, people who've been here a few seasons, there's been change, you know, and they're not the same person they were in their first season. Whereas Dorit's been doing this, like, I'm Italian.
I don't know if she's quite, you know, Mario Plummer version of it, but
Luigi.
Yeah.
Manja. Like, you know, I get it. That's just who she is, but that's not necessarily for me.
Agreed.
And that's okay.
Not everyone has to be for us. So the next morning is when Kyle comes down. They come down and they talk to Amanda.
The gas of Amanda.
Kyle has a leaf stuck to her butt.
Kyle was really wanting to unload her anger towards Dorit through the vessel that is Amanda. And it was really humorous, you know, because she was like, no, you're mad. You're going to be mad. Get mad.
I mean, it's not beyond the realm of thinking that Amanda kind of might need permission to get mad or like reinforcement that like, this is something maybe you should be mad about.
Also, this is a TV show, you know. I'm not saying fake it, but again, think out loud, Amanda.
Right. Right. But it was interesting to see that whole segment and everything, but also interesting to hear how Amanda feels like, you know, she doesn't want to be reactionary like that. And if that's who she is, then maybe the show is.
And she's explained it in a good way. So
I do feel that maybe if Dorit and Amanda had like some natural one-on-one moments, that Dorit would be disarmed. She wouldn't be able to be like this, you know, find things to nitpick about. But because they haven't really had these moments.
They've never had a one-on-one moment.
And then, you know, even every time Amanda tries, like Dorit can make the argument that anytime, you know, Amanda tries, she's trying too hard and she'll find a reason not to. But I think if they found themselves, and I think a lot of housewives find themselves like this, that once they actually spend some one-on-one time, they're like, okay, this I actually get and see how they are. Like Erica and Amanda, for instance.
Right.
Even though I don't think for a minute that Erica's not being like, yeah, that Amanda's crazy. You know.
But I think maybe she came away from that sit down of saying, you know, she's not so bad. And I'm glad that she told me she was real with me. It wasn't talking about her business or being the money queen. It was just saying, you know, I got into a bad situation and anyone can relate to that.
Right.
And you have a good conversation and you really connect. And yeah, she and Dorit have not had that chance to connect. That's why it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's going to ever happen on this trip. You know,
I don't see it happening again. I think it just goes back to Dorit is angry. She's not angry at Amanda.
She's angry at her life.
She's angry at her life, and she just really wants to be mad at something in some way.
Right.
She can't be mad, or, you know, she can't say what she needs to say to PK and, you know, scream about what's going wrong with her life, so she's just going to take it out on someone else.
Right.
So yeah, maybe Sutton was right this entire time.
Sutton, you know, I didn't agree with it last year, but I She could have been onto something.
Yeah.
She really could have.
And maybe, and you know what? I thought, she's picking on someone in her own wallet, Sorry, that was going to go somewhere and it didn't get to where I thought it was.
You know what's funny, before we get to Rachel, I was thinking, because I was, rooting for Amanda in a sense.
We're all rooting for you.
Ashley will always say to me, you go and support the underdog. And it's true. When someone is being, not picked on, but, pushed away or like pushed out of the group, I automatically, where some people or even the fans are jumping on the hate bandwagon, I automatically go to, oh, I feel bad for her.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. So, but it's true. Like, she knows me so well, because I'll say, when we talk about Housewives next week when we chat, I'll say, well, I kind of liked Amanda. She's like, I know you're going to say that. I know you're going to say that. You always go for the underdog. So.
If I didn't say it earlier, I meant to. I didn't get to it because Ashley also was the one who pointed out that Amanda was never like a therapist. Like,
right.
She's not like doesn't have a degree.
She got her master's though, and
did she?
She said it. She said so many things on the show. They don't stick in my head.
She's sitting there doing a whole dog and pony show and a sleight of hand, and so don't know what's going on with it.
She is she's a master in child psychology. I don't know. I'm going to have to Google her like Dorit, wink.
You can do a deep
dive.
I do like that Amanda did kind of know, like, it just doesn't pop up when you Google my name.
And Bo said, yes, it does.
Like, girl. But the fact that Amanda's just Googling herself or,
She has a Google alert.
Do you Google yourself often?
Never.
Never?
No.
Never.
What am I going to find? I'm not interesting.
I think now, well, you might not find I don't even know if you find the podcast because I don't think have our last names out there.
Yeah.
I pop up for cinema stuff a lot.
Right.
So, but yeah, you should Google yourself. You'd be surprised. I was originally upset when I Googled myself that when I was probably like 30, 32, I Googled myself and there was another Scott with my name.
Yeah.
And I don't have a very common last name.
Right.
I mean, in certain states it's common, but in most places it's not. But he was gayer than me and hotter than me, and I was like, I had like a week where I was like, I'm doing my name wrong. Like, he is living the life I should be living. Like, he was all cute and
I've heard this story so many times. F that guy. Who cares?
No, I'm sure he's very nice.
No, I'm not saying like F, like, but who cares about that guy? You're the better Scott. Insert last name. So
thank you for saying that, but I don't know. Like,
I don't care about that gayer Scott. Insert last name. Like, who cares?
He did college cheerleading. He probably hooked up with a lot of hot guys. That's what you want to do when you're in your 20s, right? All I'm saying. What? Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. It's just so funny that
the other people who share my last name are all doctors too, so I'm doing that wrong. So I'm just like, I could have been a doctor.
Doctors.
Yeah, lawyers. Now, let's not be quoting higher learning. That's going to get us on the wrong side of the podcast.
What is?
Don't do it. So to Rachel.
Yes.
Rachel wakes up the next morning with a text from Caius saying that his father tried to sit him down and explain that he has a girlfriend.
Right, and Rachel freaked out, naturally so.
Right.
Understandably so.
Right. While I do not disagree with her being upset because the conditions in which she set were crossed, I do dislike it, not specifically in this case, but in general on Housewives, and in just media in general, when people act as though their teenage children or near teenage children don't know what's going on. Right. And I at least like in this case that Rachel said, it's one thing for them to suspect, but it's another thing for him to confirm and talk about this, especially when I told him not to, especially when I wasn't there, especially when his brother wasn't there. Like, that is something else.
Yeah, to sit down and have a full-on conversation of, let me tell you all about my girlfriend, was crossing the line. So it's not, I'm sure the kid suspected when the girlfriend showed up at the airport, but we don't need to give it weight. Right. And that's what Rodger did.
Right.
So that's the problem.
But at the same time, see, I'm just going to seem like a weird, like, divorce apologist. like, if it's something that's important to him, as his father, he should have the right to tell his kids what he wants to tell them. Like, there's two people raising this child.
Right.
Children.
But it's not that, he hasn't been with this, well, we don't know how long he's been with this woman, but it's not, he's not about to marry her, you know?
Right.
It's not that serious.
And I get that. And also,
it's not the time. It's too soon.
Because Rachel said, don't do that.
Yes.
I fully am on her side. However, as someone who grew up in weird situations with divorced parents, or divorced parent, really, like, it wasn't, for me anyway, it wasn't that big of a deal.
But that's your experience. We're talking specifically about Rachel and her kids. And she asked Rodger, and just, I'm not saying he's being calculated, but it was a dick move to wait until she was out of the country, to where the other kid wasn't there, to have a conversation that she did not want him to have. I don't understand why he would do that. You know, it's just, there's just no way, regardless of whether or not Caius was ready to hear it, she asked, they need to be on the same page about telling the kids.
Right.
And he just was like, nope.
I think what it comes down to me is, outside of this situation in general, I just think I get irritated when I see people handling kids.
Coddling.
Yes, with kids' gloves.
But I don't think
kids aren't as delicate as people think that they are. And they're not as dumb or as sheltered. Some kids may be, and I don't know these kids, obviously. But it's like, it happens on other Housewives franchises too. Jersey comes to mind, of like, how dare you say that about my kid? Or, you know, just like, your kids aren't sitting there in their room playing tiddlywinks and jacks and, you know, playing hopscotch. They are on the internet. They're reading stuff. They already know these things. Like,
right. I think you're making more of this than needs to be made. it's just that,
fine. I won't have my thoughts and my feelings.
No, but I'm saying this is not what it's
Kyle.
About. Fuck off. No. I was saying, like, it's not what it's about. It's more so just the parameters that they already set, and he went beyond that. So it's not about her coddling the kids. It's just the principle. And
no, and I agree with that.
And even Caius knew exactly what was going on, and he had to, by this rando chick showing up at the airport saying, hey, this is my friend, boys. He didn't necessarily want to talk about it, and Rodger made it a thing, and he, as I said, gave it weight.
Right.
And that's where we just need to leave it. And Rachel is undeniably, and it's understandably pissed off about it.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying.
Wow, you have to seem like you're offended by me. Like,
I'm not offended, but I know exactly what you're saying, but I don't think it necessarily applies. I don't think she's coddling. I think she's just, you know, she just really wants to do the best for the kids and best by the kids, and he just seems to be acting against that.
And I agree with you.
Her.
I think I'm saying separate of all that. I just think that kids are smarter and way more capable of grasping things than a lot of people give them credit for.
Just because he's capable doesn't mean that we need to have the conversation in that way.
That's true.
It's a family. It's like Rachel said, he's going against the family dynamic. You know, we're not going to get back together. We're not going to be a family together, but we still have parameters as a family that Rodger was just, you know, throwing his hands at that.
Yeah, I agree. It's too soon to be doing it. It's too soon given the way that they're pacing the divorce and everything. I agree with that fully, and I think that is totally fucked up that he's doing it.
Yeah.
And I guess without saying it, I slightly feel, I don't think she's overreacting. I just think that, like, I don't have the right way to say it without sounding a little dicky about it.
Well, then don't.
Okay. Then. All right. Fair enough.
Like, shoop.
All right.
Put a bow on that.
Bow wrapped on that. But I do agree with everything you're saying, everything she's saying. It's just that, I think it's.
You put the bow on it.
Put the bows on it. All right. Fine. Good. All right. Next subject.
Yeah.
What do we got going on now?
I think that was the end. We got the trailer for next week. Where they're now again, Natalie's speaking. Natalie's gonna.
Yeah, every time you say Natalie, it has this like weird kind of condescending. Natalie's talking
because whether it be editing or the fact that she's just not jumping in there, she's just there, and she seems nice, and she's fun and she's pretty, but like she's not giving anything, you know? And there's two other friends I mean, it's hard to compete with Kathy Hilton and Jennifer Tilly.
Right.
But I really need her to get in the mix. And it seems like she's going to next week with Amanda.
Which is like 3 episodes left.
Yeah. Which is like a low-hanging fruit anyways. But nothing... No one's come at her. It wasn't like Dorit pivoted and said, Natalie, shut your damn mouth. She has no cause to jump in, but I just need more. That's what I say. Oh, Natalie's talking.
Yeah.
Because she hasn't.
Natalie is giving me, what's her face?
Maylee.
No, she's giving me Tiki Barber's wife.
That's why we only know her as Tiki Barber's wife.
What was her name? You don't even remember, do you?
No, I know she was cut out of the... When I'm doing this, cut out of the reunion.
Oh,
which
that's
is
right.
Harsh.
Right, because
she showed up, she filmed, and they cut her out of the reunion.
She offered nothing.
Nothing.
So that's what she's giving me right now. It's kind of like, I'm here, and I'm going to say a word here or two. But again, I just don't think that, like, I don't know.
I think it's more so, in between that and because at least Maylee got into it that one episode with who I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, that's the problem with all these friends who didn't quite make it.
Well, she was also problematic.
Well,
off camera,
separate. Yeah. I think though, like you're expecting something out of Natalie, like whereas I'm not. Like I'm just expecting her to be there.
Honey, if you have a gallery shot, okay, if
that's
you're
not
like,
her fault.
If no, if you're like been put there and you're in the after show, I need you to do some friending, okay?
Maybe she's really active on Friendster.
I need you to do some work, Natalie. If you want to come back, I need some work.
I didn't realize you had such high standards for the friends of.
It's just weird to me when someone is just plopped down there and they don't do anything, you know?
I think I always equate that to being production and editing, like doing that. Like she probably did something.
Well, that's what no, not necessarily. If she's not giving enough, then they're not going to use her.
Or the story that they chose to go with is where she's not really involved, and that's not her fault.
She just needs to like host something, or I don't know.
Oh, maybe she hosts the
talk
year-end
about her
party.
Divorce.
Maybe she has the white party this year for the Kyle. We'll see.
No, I don't think Natalie's doing that, but she seems quite pleasant. But I mean, comparison to like Jazzy, you know, who like really like stepped up and had a kind of on camera wedding.
Right.
You know, she was doing something
But Jazzy was there last season and she's been around.
That's true. Who was the friend? Well, I guess they didn't change the cast with Salt Lake. Brittany is like basically a housewife.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I need more. But again, you're up against Jennifer Tilly and Kathy Hilton. How do you, even in the after show, she doesn't say much because how can you get a word in with Jennifer Tilly? You know?
I love you. Should we talk about it next time?
So next time.